The person you are trying to impress is actually judging you for the very thing you bought to impress them. It is the ultimate irony of modern human psychology. We set fire to our future to buy a mask for the present. Your brain is effectively a hijacked supercomputer, running prehistoric software in a world designed to exploit your every biological craving. The promise of today is a brutal confrontation with the biological vanity that is currently draining your bank account. By the end of this, you will understand why your own mind is your most expensive and dangerous liability. You're scrolling at 2 a.m., a targeted ad flashes a watch, a car, a lifestyle you haven't actually earned yet. You feel that familiar, heavy pull in your chest, a physical weight that whispers, "If I buy this, I finally belong." So you swipe the card. The dopamine hits for exactly 1 hour, but the debt stays for a decade. It is a slow-motion form of financial suicide, dressed up in designer leather and high-definition marketing. This is the luxury trap, a curated cage built from gold-plated bars and the desperate need for outside validation. Today, we identify 3 biological causes, 3 psychological fixes, and a final test to see if you are truly ready. If you can survive this analysis, you might actually find the wealth you've been pretending to have for years. Cause number 1. Evolution wired us to signal our value to the tribe, because back then, status meant survival. In the ancient world, the man with the best furs survived the winter and won the favor of the group. But today, that survival instinct has been hijacked by multi-billion-dollar machines designed to keep you forever broke. They sell you the Veblen effect, a glitch where the more expensive an item is, the more you desire it. It isn't about the quality of the fabric. It's about the silent, desperate scream of, "I am better than you." This is your biological hardware running outdated code, and it is costing you your one real shot at freedom. Every luxury logo you wear is a billboard for your own insecurity, a signal that you need external help. When you buy things to impress people you don't even like, you are effectively paying a tax on vanity. This tax isn't collected by the government. It's collected by brands that laugh while you work for them. You think you're a VIP customer, but you're actually a volunteer in a global campaign to stay middle class. Luxury is the only drug where the dealer doesn't hide in the shadows. They put their name on the building. The first rule to break this cycle is simple: the 24-hour rule. Wait 1 day for every 1,000 spent. Let the lizard brain cool down. Let the dopamine subside before you commit your hard-earned capital to a ghost. If the desire vanishes after a single night of sleep, it wasn't a purchase. It was a psychological seizure. Your micro payoff for today is simple. Unsubscribe from every luxury brand email sitting in your inbox right now. Stop the digital vultures from entering your mental sanctuary, and reclaim the silence your bank account needs. Wealth is built in the quiet moments of discipline, not in the loud moments of public consumption. Real status doesn't need to be announced. If you have to show it off, you probably don't truly own it. You are currently trading your time, your only non-renewable resource, for things that lose value while you sleep. Cause number 2, social comparison is a treadmill that never stops. especially when you're looking at a filtered life. You are competing with an image, a hollow projection of success that usually hides a mountain of high-interest debt. This creates status debt, a hidden tax on your future self that keeps you running just to stay still. Most people are living a 5-star life on a 1-star balance sheet, and the stress is quietly killing them. They trade 20 years of retirement for a shiny hood ornament that they'll be bored of by next Tuesday. You aren't buying a luxury bag. You're buying the permission to feel important for a single afternoon. The rule of invisible wealth states, if buying it doesn't increase your net worth, it shouldn't define your identity. Money you don't spend is the only money that works for you. Everything else works for someone else. True wealth is the money you don't spend, the investments you don't see, and the freedom you don't broadcast. You are playing a game of capture the flag, where the flag is a moving target you can never touch. Here is the twist. The truly wealthy are often the most invisible and boring people in the room. They don't need the logo to validate their existence because they own the companies that sell those logos. They understand that a quiet life is a luxury that status seekers can simply never afford for themselves. By chasing the aesthetic of wealth, you are effectively ensuring that you never actually achieve the reality of it. It is a mathematical certainty. If your expenses rise with your ego, your freedom will always remain at zero. Stop asking, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" and start asking, "Will this purchase make me a slave?" The answer is almost always yes. Every status symbol is a heavy brick in the wall of your prison. Break the status debt cycle by realizing that nobody is actually looking at you. They're looking at themselves. When you walk into a room, people aren't admiring your shoes. They're wondering if their own shoes look okay. We are all the protagonists of our own movies, meaning your expensive costume is barely a background prop. Why go bankrupt for an audience that isn't even paying attention to the performance you're putting on? The status debt you carry is a weight that prevents you from ever taking the risks that create wealth. The most expensive thing you can own is a fragile ego that requires constant financial maintenance to survive. Cause number 3, we use luxury as a protective armor, a way to hide our perceived inadequacies from others. If I look rich, nobody will realize how scared I am or how little I actually know about money. This is the hidden trap, the fear of being found out, a psychological imposter syndrome fueled by credit cards. We are sacrificing our potential for a costume, trading genuine security for the illusion of being untouchable. It's a defensive mechanism. We buy the correct things so we won't be judged by a society we fear. But the people you are trying to impress are just as scared, wearing their own expensive, suffocating masks. It's a masquerade ball where everyone is broke and everyone is pretending they are the only ones who aren't. The final rule to break this cycle is the identity audit. Ask yourself if you'd want it on an island. If you could never show this purchase to another human being, would you still spend your money on it? If the answer is no, you aren't buying a product, you are buying an audience. And audiences are expensive. True confidence doesn't require a brand name. It requires a bank statement that makes you feel safe at night. Stop renting your personality from a showroom and start building a character that doesn't need a price tag. If your self-esteem is tied to the year of your car, you have given the keys of your happiness to a machine. Machines break, brands change, but the discipline of a wealthy mind is an asset that never depreciates. The final test of your mind is simple. Can you walk through a luxury mall and feel absolutely nothing? If you feel a pull, the trap is still active, and your lizard brain is still steering your life. If you feel pity for the people carrying the heavy shopping bags, then you have finally graduated. Now, let's integrate these fixes into a cohesive daily protocol you can use starting the very second this ends. Step 1. Separate your self-worth from your net worth. You are not the clothes you wear or the car. Step 2. Automate your savings so the status money is gone before your impulses can even find it. If the money isn't in your checking account, your brain can't manufacture a reason to blow it on junk. Step 3. Curate your inner circle. Stop hanging out with people who measure success by a shirt's price. These 3 shifts create a psychological fortress, making you immune to the Veblen effect and the status race. Wealth is not about what you can buy. It is about how many people you can afford to say no to. You will find that when you stop trying to look rich, you suddenly have the capital to actually become rich. The silence of a debt-free life is louder than any V12 engine or designer watch could ever hope to be. True wealth is the ability to say no, the power to walk away from a display without feeling small. Imagine waking up without the weight of status debt crushing your chest every single morning of your life. That freedom is worth more than any designer brand could ever offer. It is the ultimate luxury. The challenge for the next 24 hours is this: find one luxury item in your digital cart and delete it. Experience the rush of choosing your future self over a temporary hit of social validation. It feels like power. You are no longer a victim of the luxury trap. You are now the architect of a real private empire. Stop building a gallery for others and start building a life that feels good on the inside. The world wants you to be a consumer. Your bank account needs you to be a ghost. This is Capthos, where we decode the psychology of wealth so you can finally own your own mind. If you're ready to stop performing and start building, subscribe to join our circle of silent earners. Until next time, stay sharp, stay disciplined, and stay silent.